I've never met these two, but their choreography and skill can be best described as where ninja meets ballet. After earning a silver medal at the 2014 Olympic Games, 4 years later, they danced into the hearts of 36 million Canadians, earning gold in the ice dance category at Pyeongchang at the 2018 Olympic Games. In Canada, they are considered royalty. Tessa Virtue, Scott Moir, welcome to the Cabbie Presents podcast.
Thank
what
you
an
for
intro.
having
Wait,
us.
did I get the information?
Thank you.
Was
What
the information
that,
correct?
Ninja
and
ballet.
ballet.
I love
Yeah.
that. That's so kind.
Both are
Thank you.
compliments.
I want to read it like your intro now. I want to hype
Yeah.
you up. This is
Cabbie.
not, I feel this is not
No need.
fair.
No need. We were just talking before we started, Scott. You're from a small town.
Small town, Ilderton, Ontario. Beautiful place.
Right. So then in small towns, what's customary is just a lot of fights.
Yeah.
And I mentioned ninja, where ninja meets ballet, where those ninja skills honed in, what is it, Arverton?
Ilderton. Yeah.
Ilderton.
Yeah, I went to school in Arva, so that's pretty good. You just kind of brangelinated them together there. But
Really did. Well done.
yeah, no, I try not to. I mean, I was a little scrappy when I was young, but I mean, I was a bad teenager, but
You were or
try
you were
not
not?
to. I was, but I try to outgrow that and be a bit more mature now.
What's your win-loss
Men's league
record?
sometimes it gets out of hand.
Do you play hockey?
Yeah, of course.
Do you feel like there's a larger target on your back because you are so decorated on the ice in one field, and then do just want to, I don't know,
A little bit.
assert themselves on
Men's
it?
league
depends
gets
who-
heated, I bet.
Yeah, men's league gets really heated. It depends who I'm with too, because some of the guys knowing that I don't play as often as I used to, and that I really don't have the best hand. So a couple of games they'll like give me like 4 or 5 breakaways, knowing that I'm not going to be able to capitalize on it. So yeah, it's pretty funny. It's a good time.
But
I
you
gotta work
dazzle
on
them
that.
with your skating
Yeah,
skills?
but yeah, throw an axle
I
in
like
there
that.
once in a while. Yeah.
Tessa,
Just
listen,
flair, at least.
I'm not going to get away from where your ninja meets your ballet. So where did you refine? Do you have any younger siblings, or do you have any siblings where you perhaps may have refined your ninja skills in the house, or was it the playground?
Where I
Circa
spent most of my
years
days.
6 through. Yes, nice. Shout out to Will Smith. Circa 6 through like 11 or 12.
Well, I'm the youngest of 4 kids in
Oh,
the family.
so you got
and
beat up.
2 boys, 2 girls. Oh, I was beat up. I was such a tomboy. Tomgirl, whatever that appropriate phrase is now. Yeah, we were so sports oriented as a family and so physically active, and whether it was backyard baseball or my brothers teaching me the body checking game that they invented conveniently, or playing mini sticks. I mean, it was
Yes.
just all sport related and very physical, very active, and I think that's where I at least learned to stand up for myself.
Was there a chance that you got concussions before you made it to the ice?
Maybe.
Yeah, you're pretty aggressive.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, I want to start with the hardest questions first.
Mm-hmm.
What are your nicknames?
You have good ones.
I just have so many.
Virch is the best. 'cause I
Mostly
made it up.
T,
T-bone.
T-Bone, T-Bird, Tutu, Tess, Virch, Baby Virch.
Baby
Yeah.
Virch.
Yeah.
Because you're the youngest
Because
of the
I'm the
Virtues.
youngest,
Got it.
Yeah.
Scott, how about you?
I tried to get a nickname going for a while. Like I was calling myself the boss, and it
Were
didn't
you-
really. Yeah.
Wait,
like,
you're trying to self-appoint a
yeah,
nickname?
yeah, and one that Bruce Springsteen already kind of had tied up, but it didn't. None of them went.
What do people call you?
Scott mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not even really a Scotty. Only a few people
Yeah,
refer
it
to you
has
as
to be
Scotty.
a certain person to call me Scotty.
Yeah.
Which is whom in your
Not
life?
very many people.
Not very many people?
Like almost nobody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kevin, my brother's maybe one of them.
Kevin, your brother's about it. Yeah. Even my brothers, I'd just be like, who are you talking to?
I dig it. Your brilliance on the ice has been well documented, and you two move in ways that maybe only 108 people on planet Earth can move. Maybe 108. Might even be an overestimation. So if your skill on the ice is a 19 out of 10, individually, 19 out of 10 each, what is your skill on flat ground? So I know, Tessa, your birthday's coming up in May.
Yeah.
So if you were like, if there was a huge party, you're throwing a huge party or whatnot, and everybody, like there's a dance floor or whatever, whose skill on the dance floor is superior?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
We have different styles.
Yeah, you're more natural of a dancer, but give me choreography.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's my jam.
I don't think
that's
you're not a
that's my
natural
element.
dancer. You just have the arm up.
I just
all
have
the
my
time.
go-to
Oh,
move.
that's
yeah.
your move? Is this one?
She's
Yeah.
just like, woo, got the arm going. I don't know what that's. No, but yeah, you can't compete with her. And the way you pick things up and then interpret things. Like a lot of the times when we're working on the ice and we'll be like, oh, I like that. And then the other person's like, oh, I was trying to do what you did.
Yeah,
That's-
that happens
that's
all the
like
time, doesn't it?
That's the whole session.
But
I was just trying to do what you did.
But you are a better freestyler, I would say.
Well, yeah, I just am a little more out there maybe. Like
So
I'm
what
just,
does that
like,
what does
like
that
to
mean?
dance?
running across.
I do, but I see like and we mentioned Will Smith before we started. Like in the movie Hitch.
Right, which was my reference, by the way, for those of you listening. It wasn't just that random. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Like in the movie Hitch when he's teaching Kevin James how to dance, I just keep it right in the pocket.
Yeah.
Just like I just have my
That's
drink
you.
and a two-step.
That's you. I like that though.
And occasionally I'm mixing like maybe a spin if I'm feeling loose.
Yeah.
Like if as Jay-Z once said, when the Remy's in the system.
Right.
Like then I'm,
Yes.
But you see, okay, wait.
I'm like that too, though. Sometimes it's like my pet peeve when people are like, oh, yeah, you're going to have to dance tonight. And I just think like, well, no, like if I feel it, maybe.
How much pressure do you guys feel if you are out and say it's a charity event or just like a birthday party or a wedding?
It's kind of natural, huh? We
It
like
comes
to
naturally.
dance.
I mean, that's a far-fetched because I so rarely am out and dancing. I can't remember the last time I went to a club or anything, but I mean, in my kitchen on a Friday night, it's a happening place.
The clubs are inconvenient.
Do you feel
mostly.
pressure? Let's say a wedding. Do
A
you
wedding,
feel
that's
pressure?
what I was
maybe,
thinking of, is a wedding. No, I don't feel pressure. And usually, like, I'm the first on the dance floor naturally.
Yeah.
I don't feel like people are watching me as Scott Moir, the ice dancer. Usually just like.
But if they know you're in the
sweating.
room, I feel like you would.
Maybe.
Because
you just don't know it.
Yeah. Which is great, because then you're on your own little world and you don't give a bleep about what everybody
I guess
else.
that's it. I want to stay there too, so don't ruin this for me. I love that.
Okay, as music is a big part of our lives, music anthems have some of them have a lifespan of maybe a month. Some of the an anthem might have a summer, which is like a thing. But then they die and they go to the graveyard and they're resurrected in stadiums and arenas like 20 years later.
Yeah.
Do you loathe those as much as I do? This might be a hot take, but this is a song that I loathe, but that is resurrected in various arenas.
Is it Moulin Rouge?
No, that's not a bad one. It's Montel Jordan's "This Is How We Do It." I loathe. That's
really?
it. It's in your face.
Really?
Like, everybody loves that song except me. I think maybe it's because I've heard it too much. But when I hear it in some random hockey rink, I'm just like, I know that they dusted off this. The CD has scratches on the back because it was on some compilation in '98.
Right. It's a bit how I feel when Sweet Caroline comes out.
Oh,
I was
There's
gonna
another
say
one.
that
Really?
was the worst one.
Oh.
Yeah.
I actually recently, because I used to be like, okay, it's fun, everyone's singing, and
No, you just
I can't
accept
even
that it's
stand
not.
it.
Yeah.
What's with the Leafs this year when they score a goal? That song, that's one of your favorites. It's the what's that band you like that's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? It shouldn't be Hall & Oates.
They play Hall & Oates?
Yeah.
I love that.
Every time. Tessa loves Hall & Oates, and the guy who used to play music for us at some of the competitions wanted us to feel comfortable, so he would put on Hall & Oates like before every skate.
Yeah, let's unpack that a little, how you hated it so much because I loved it. Let's dive
Yeah,
into
we
this.
should dive in.
Yeah.
Just because I did listen to it so much, it's not because you loved it. It's just because it's not my style.
Right.
Have either one of you had to campaign for a song that the other person wasn't quite into, but eventually they're like, okay, I'll skate to this because other than Hall & Oates?
Yeah, I think that probably naturally happens. And then, but if Scott is really passionate about a piece and I see him move to it, then I naturally want to perform to that, to choreograph. I think that kind of, I don't know, we feed off of each other in that sense.
But we're usually very open. I mean, we go through so much music, really, and have to kind of come up with like an original piece often. So you always are able to cut it because we both have to live with it. So we're open to the other person just being like, you know what, I just don't feel it, and then it's off the table.
But I would say more often than not, you and I are on the same page.
Yeah.
And any outside creative
coaching,
or creative person, choreographer bringing ideas in, we often agree.
I wonder how much of that is because we've just been picking music together for 21 years.
Maybe.
Has it been that long?
And I want
agree,
you to be happy on the ice. I want you to
Yeah.
feel that. So.
Yeah, and I care about that. I don't really care if the choreographer's happy. No, just
Yeah,
kidding.
right. Yeah, just
No,
ruin it for
it
each other.
it happens a lot, but no, we have pretty similar tastes in that, other than Hall & Oates.
In some duos, there's a sheriff and there's like a deputy. One person picks the food spots. One person picks the nighttime activities. One person's on time. One person does most of the driving. So as you guys are saying, you guys are collaborate from your music, but who is the person, like, how do you find your pieces of music? Like, are you deep diving on blogs or is
That's different every time, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are times when we're searching Spotify or like just listening to random music choices over and over and over and getting nowhere, and then all of a sudden like music will just pop up, or I remember the one time we were just watching our friend perform, and then we're just like, okay, we have to skate to that.
And do you
it's
remember what song it
different
was?
Yeah, it was What's Love Got to Do With It by Whitney Houston, but completely reworked.
Tina Turner.
Tina Turner, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Whitney Houston was the other one we did.
Yeah, how will I know?
Yeah, we did covers for a long time. Yeah, it was a bit of a problem, but
Is it now? Do you guys get to like stuff from like 2019? Like what the hell what's big this year? I'm in like a hip hop zone, so I might say J. Cole, but I don't think J. Cole is appropriate to skate to.
Yeah, I think we try and walk that. We try and balance it out because.
Or do you have to pick music where it's G-rated, where there's no cuss words, or the clean version of
Yes.
The Weeknd was one that we really wanted to skate to for a long time, and we wanted to do a program actually at the Olympics because he's Canadian. He has some really cool musicality to his music. I don't know, it's really neat. Like something in the background. It's like almost like Michael Jackson, but not really.
Yeah, because he hits those falsetto notes.
It's cool.
He's up there. Yeah.
But every song we loved, it was like just a bit too inappropriate. You know,
like I Can't Feel My Face, which has a great bass line, but he's talking about
exactly
Tony Ayo.
Exactly, not so great.
Those kind of party favors
for the 8-year-old aspiring figure skater. So.
But I guess that's true. Tom Cruise once did a lip sync to that on Jimmy Fallon, and like The Weeknd was like, Tom Cruise just sung my bleeping song. Like, it was just so hype, which would be crazy. Like, you imagine you're this kid from here, and then some uber famous celeb is like super into your craft, your art, which I imagine has probably happened to you. Yes?
Oh, nothing at that
Once. But well, at the Olympics, then we had people tweeting us. Like, that's what social media was cool. Like when we did the Stones. Who was it? Those
14 or 18?
18. Yeah, and actually, you know what I was really excited about? We in our Thank You Canada tour last year, one of the songs we did was "We Will Rock You," and Brian May, who wrote the song, part of Queen, reposted, and I sort of fangirled over that. And now I'm down this rabbit hole, this like Queen rabbit hole, all about Freddie Mercury and the way that they approached music and their philosophy and how they were so true to their art form and just pushed the boundaries. I don't know. So now the fact that Brian May had that moment of like briefly knowing who we were was so cool.
That's very dope.
Yeah.
Are you guys able to carve out some time to, if you want to go see Bohemian Rhapsody? Did you see the movie?
I did, yes. Yeah. Mostly we watch movies on planes.
Yeah, I was just going to say a lot on planes.
I mean, it makes sense because you're traveling so much, but it sucks that you don't really get the
Did you like the film?
I loved it. I thought the editing was, Rami Malek's performance, amazing, was brilliant. And then the editing, as you know, I work in TV, I just was like some of those, the montages of creating the songs and We Will Rock You specifically. I just thought the editing was so dope.
Powerful, yeah.
Now, I want you to clap on the third beat.
What's going on?
You know if you're on time?
I want to give the audience a song that they can perform.
And how they started their whole filming process with that opening Live Aid performance.
Yes,
That's how they started. So.
I used to have a random DVD of Queen performing at and like the way he commanded the stage.
Oh my
was
gosh!
So
Well, now
cool
I've seen every documentary, every making of, everything
That's
there is
cool.
about Queen and
About
Freddie
Queen?
Mercury.
In your youths, shout out to
Are we not still in those?
your earlier youths.
Okay, I was.
See, now this is a reference. It's just so stupid. It's like the Joe Pesci movie, My Cousin Vinny. The judge is like, when Joe Pesci's like, 2 Utes. He's like, 2 Utes? 2 Utes. Anyway, it was so dumb.
That was a really good Pesci.
No,
though.
it was so dumb. When you guys were younger, like in your early teen days, when you were creating mixtapes, was it LimeWire? Was it Kazaa?
Napster.
What was it? Napster?
The original.
But wait, you grew up in a town of like 2 cows, a friggin' a turtle.
Napster.
ICQ.
And you had to, like, if you wanted to listen to, like, you'd listen to a CD. So if you got in someone's car and you had, like, a freshly burned CD, you're the man. So.
Wait, did you have dial-up at your crib? Like, how did?
Yeah, it was that. I remember the.
We were the last household to get the internet for sure. I remember walking to the library to check my MSN.
Messenger?
And then just waiting around hoping that, I would get a response while I was still standing at the computer at the library.
I wonder, that boy who is supposed to respond to her, I wonder what he's doing now. He's probably still on Messengers trying to send you stuff, eh?
It's just like on iPhones, just like red.
Yeah.
Just waiting. one of
Tesla
those.
just sitting there at the London Library.
So if the computer you used was at the library, did you have to buy CDs or were you ripping music like the rest of us?
Buying CDs.
You were buying CDs.
Or I was getting people to make them for me because I'm still like that. I'm so bad at downloading music. I hate creating playlists, but I love music and I love having the right playlist at the right time. It's just I'm not the person to make that. So
if you had a pre-drink, you're not making the playlist for the pre-drink.
No, absolutely not.
Are you?
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah, usually.
A pre-drink.
But if you
Would you guys call it the pre-drink?
Yeah, absolutely. No,
I was in the States recently. I was in London, and they called it either the pre-session or the session is what they call it.
Session.
We call it
Yeah.
That's what they call the pre-drink. I'm like, I might bring that home with me.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Recently, I go back and I'll randomly find used to have like the packet of
CDs, like
CD flip.
like the book.
Yes.
And then there'd be like 30 in there. And actually, most of our drives from London to Detroit, I don't know how her parents ever let her get in the car with me, but I'd be in this 1990, I can remember the car, 7 Cavalier, and I'd have my packet of booklet of CDs, and it'd be anything from like Nelly to Wu-Tang to
fun.
like old
Wait
country
a second,
music.
hold on.
And
How's a
Tessa's-
kid from London, Ontario finding Enter the 36 Chambers?
No, that was exactly. Yeah.
How did you find Enter the 36 Chambers, my dude? And how can you play it in their car?
I know. Well, it was my car. I'd be driving down, and then we'd get to the border, and they'd be like, we need to have a letter from Tessa's parents because they thought that I was like.
Yeah, we started crossing the border 4 or 5 times a week, really, when I was 15 and Scott was 17. And so I think there were, on occasion, they thought we were eloping or you were
Windows would be
kidnapping me or
down
something.
and the music would be just blaring. And I would teach you how to sing like an old country song or something. That's like a lot of our relationship was
we
forged
probably
there.
bonded a lot in those car rides.
My apologies. I thought you meant you were driving with her parents, not getting permission so that you guys can go and compete
No, that
in
would
the
have
U.S.
been more Motown, probably.
It was more Motown.
Oh, yeah, you'd have to clean up the playlist for sure. You'd
But
have to.
my mom, like, I would play Eminem and stuff in the car.
I
and then
remember
she'd just be like,
driving
I don't
with-
really like this.
With your
No,
mom.
for sure.
You
What?
sitting in the front seat with your buzz cut, bleached blonde hair,
Oh,
blaring.
man.
And
Did you have
I
frosted
was
tips?
sitting in the back
Well,
seat. I inevitably spilled hot chocolate on myself
Oh, my
every single day
goodness.
before
Yeah,
school, but
that's
Alma
it.
would buy me a hot chocolate. And I had my Marvin the Martian body pillow, and I have these vivid memories of you really thinking you were Eminem.
Well, I was pretty close. And I never frosted my tips, but I would dye
You had
my
the
hair
full
blonde.
like
and then
the
eventually
Slim
it
Shady.
would grow out and the frost tips would happen.
Went from Slim
unfortunately.
Shady to the NSYNC frosted tips real fast.
It was a rough transition.
I need to see those photos.
I know
You must be mortified. Like people at your school for sure.
I remember that was a big day in the Moir household. Me and my brother, we get the blondissima or whatever and just dunk our heads, and all of a sudden we'd be ridiculous. That we did
you'd
stuff
change
like that.
into
Where were our parents?
Slim Shady. Sorry, you said Marvin the Martian pill?
Yeah, no,
Pillow.
a body
pillow.
pillow. Sorry.
I was like,
got
what?
real weird when we were
That's
10,
what I
yeah.
needed to like just reverse there. The frosted tips. The hallmark of the teenage years from 97 to 05. As we continue the musical odyssey back in time, I invite you to take a trip down a YouTube rabbit hole on TSN's YouTube page, as this podcast is sponsored by the Cabbie Presents Archives. There are hundreds of segments to relive or discover for the first time with athletes much more entertaining than yours truly. You mentioned spilling tea or hot chocolate. How do you keep your costumes or your outfits clean? Because I imagine they are custom made and
Right.
you're not just going to Lululemon and just getting another pair of tights
Yes,
to
they're
wear in your.
intricately made. Luckily, when we're on tour, we have wardrobe extraordinaires with us, and they clean them after every show and take care of them and fix all the
it's a huge
stitches
thing.
and every little detail's perfect. And we're a little spoiled on the road.
What I always got a kick out of my costume is that I was a little superstitious, so I never would wash them during the competition year.
Are you serious?
So they
would
look
just
like they're really pretty, but they probably smell worse than my hockey equipment. Some like, especially the ones that are like really mesh or the lycra doesn't really clean that well or air out that well. So poor Tessa.
Did you ever spritzed? I learned recently
Can you
that
just
for
spritz them?
of like mascots, how they clean mascots is they put like the cheapest vodka in a spritz bottle, and
our
then
wardrobe does that as well.
really?
Yeah.
like Russian Prince, whatever we drank in high school,
Yeah.
like I don't know what's worse than Russian
So
Prince.
I'll know that it
Russian
was
Prince
just
is pretty
from.
bad.
Yeah, remember like the great
No offense
plastic
to whoever
bottle.
sells
I'll
or
know
makes
now.
Russian
It's just that you're
Prince.
trying to have a clean costume, not that you had a raging
Yeah.
night
Oh,
the
exactly,
previously.
No.
Yes, rock the rink. Rock
Great,
the rink.
great
Let's-
segue.
It is a good segue. Here we go.
Let's get back to it. Okay, you have 30 dates across our country, and you're traveling, or you're performing rather, October, November. And tickets go on sale Friday, May 3rd. RockTheRink.com is where you can buy them. What is the duration of the show? Do you know yet?
The duration of the show each night?
Yeah.
Well, we're trying to build that right now. It's kind of fun for Tessa and I because we're trying to like build a different type of skating show. There's been a formula for so long on, you skate, you do a half, and then you come back with a second half. And we're trying to think of ways to do it differently. But we will skate a lot in the show. That we know. We have 9 castmates right now.
Oh, nice.
We're hoping to bump that number up to 11 somehow in the next couple of months. And we want to be on the ice. It's kind of like when you're playing in a hockey game, you want to be on the ice. If you're going to be there, you might as well be on the ice skating. And all of our cast members share that. So we're going to skate a ton. And there's going to be live entertainment, but we don't know. I mean, we're not sending people home early, that's for sure.
Okay.
But we haven't quite got there yet. It's not like we have our time code. We will in like a month or two. Mm-hmm. So on our second podcast with you. When the fans go crazy and insist we come back, then we'll let you
Part
in.
2.
How many wardrobe changes do you anticipate?
Several. Last year I lost count, but I know
Like in the same show?
in the same show. I mean, even taking skates on and off. I don't know.
Wait, you
10
change your
plus
skates?
times. No, but just to get costumes on and off.
Right,
Or,
sorry about
we have
that.
people helping with quick change. But I think, I don't know. This is the fun thing is that we're garnering excitement and we're making this announcement right now, and we're sort of creating the buzz. But we're still in the phases of conceptualizing what it really means. I mean, we have so many ideas, and we're bringing together a creative team. We're trying to make all of our castmates shine in their own way and showcase their personalities, and we just want it to be a memorable evening. And Scott mentioned trying to be innovative. I mean, we want to just do things differently. I think we're so anxious to break the mold and, just explore what can be done in the entertainment realm. So a lot of these things, we're open to feedback, open to ideas.
Let me throw some ideas at you.
Yeah, I was
do.
going to ask, actually.
Okay, so there's got to be some projections onto the ice.
How great are those now at the
They're
NHL
sick.
games?
Like
Yeah.
even NBA arenas and hockey arenas, like the whole opening introduction is like all projected onto the ice.
Like in the Final Four, like it was
Yes.
pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Before it used to be like, what are they trying to do? Like that was a year ago. It
And
feels
if you're
like, and now
sitting
you can see it
courtside
crystal
or
clear.
right on the ice, do you miss that?
I don't
the
think you miss
perspective
it
of it,
now.
or you
It's
still
pretty
get the idea?
clear.
Yeah.
It's
I've
better
never
from up high.
sat courtside. So
Yeah, I know. We'll have to ask some of our friends.
wait a second. Listen, any arena you guys go to, you guys, I'm sure they have a spot for both of you guys to sit right there, front row. Okay, so then LED lights, either for the people in the audience, or for the performers, or something synced to like we will rock you and the doom 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 or whatever.
Playing with those.
Yes.
Oh,
very- are we allowed
we're
to
not
say
supposed
that?
to. Well, we're
Oh,
trying
you
not
just
to
got
say
some really
too.
exciting
Okay, don't
videos
say-
about
okay,
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're trying not to say too much because we found last year, like, you come up with 100 great ideas and 50 of those will get cut.
Oh.
So it's just like,
But that is I love
but
that you thought of that because we're on the same wavelength.
Keep
Nice.
going here. We're going to
Yes.
get a pen and paper.
Okay.
and lastly,
what are
this-
you doing from
Yeah, exactly.
now until November?
I would just mess up everything you guys
Can we
do.
hire you as creative director?
I'll be the one that just goes to get the food. And lastly, this one is a lot riskier. Just fire.
Yes.
Like, just need some
love-
fire.
Yes.
Like, I don't know if it's
Literally and metaphorically, I think. Just bring
Yes.
the
but
fire.
more literally than
That's going to be on our
metaphor.
mood board. Bring the fire.
Yeah.
Cabbie, bring the fire.
Yeah.
We have been in one skating show that had fire, and it was cool.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
Obviously dangerous, but
I
cool
mean, I
for
lost
the
a couple
audience.
eyelashes. But
Did
that's
you?
fine. No.
You got to make sure your hair is real tight and you wear like a swim
Yeah,
cap or
yeah.
something.
Oh.
Listen, I know you guys have to go, but this
We
was
don't want to, though.
No,
Like,
it's
this is
just so fun.
I appreciate that. Listen. Hopefully, you guys can come back around the time that just before you leave and you have everything kind of figured out. Like, okay,
Yes.
these we're doing,
Well-
not you won't reveal everything, but
We'll give you the scoop.
Yeah,
for sure.
for sure.
I would appreciate that.
Yes.
Tessa, it was wonderful to meet you. Scott, it was wonderful to meet you.
What an
Okay,
honor,
sorry.
man.
Where
Thanks
can
for
people follow your lives before? Are you more Instagram users or Twitter users? Where can people?
I try my hardest. I'm trying my hardest. I'm just not the social media guy, but on Instagram more and more now. I thought I was on Twitter a lot, but I'm really not many people are twittering anymore,
No.
tweeting or whatever they
For
call
like
it.
news, I feel like, or
What's
like
your platform of choice?
I go with Instagram.
Your Instagram,
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
just like the
You're
candy
good at
of.
the Insta
Yeah.
though. You do the Insta.
Yeah, I like connecting with people on Instagram.
And yours is Tessa Virtue,
Tessa Virtue 17.
17.
Yes.
Got more
Scott
than
Moir.
14.
14. Why the
Yeah.
numbers?
That's a hockey number.
Yeah,
Oh.
and Tessa Virtue was taken.
Yeah.
Oh,
And-
but
my
I do love
God.
17. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Scott Moir 14, Tessa Virtue 17. Follow them and support Rock the Rink. The tickets
thanks.
go on sale Friday, May 3rd, rocktherink.com. Thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you.
Thank
for
you.
having
Really
us, man.
appreciate
That's
it.
awesome.